Welcome to Transformation Stories.
For a long time, we have been wanting to bring real mamas onto our poddy and just talk to them about their stories. What have they broken free from?
Stories of healing, of fat loss, of physical freedom, spiritual freedom, just incredible breakthrough stories.
Yeah, sometimes it's not fat loss. Sometimes it's fat gain when needed. We talk to people with emotional eating disorders. I mean, you are going to be inspired. You might cry a little sometimes. You might laugh a little. But these are for your encouragement.
This is The Poddy with Serene
and Pearl.
Get it right, PODDY.
Hi, Heather. Thanks for being with us today.
It's such an honor to be here with y'all.
Well, you look absolutely vibrant, Heather. So I'm interested to hear your whole full story because, I mean, you don't look like you have been in a big transformation. You just look like you've always been so vibrant and healthy. And
Thank you.
So, there's a lot of women listening, and I'm sure so many will relate to where you've been. But take us back to the point before your turning point. What was happening when you were feeling the most lost and overwhelmed with your health journey? What was that like?
Okay, so 12 years ago, a friend of mine introduced me to Term Healthy Mama. I call her my THM Mama. I had just had a baby the year before that was very sick, and he came really early. And the reason he was early was because of high blood sugar, and I didn't know it yet.
Wow.
But we found out later that, and the doctors didn't even realize yet, but now everybody knows that it's called polyhydramnios and too much amniotic fluid, and high blood sugar is one of the causes.
Wow.
And I mean, I was just standard American diet. And I'd had him, and he came very, very sick, and he was on oxygen and monitors. He was born at 34 weeks. He was on oxygen and monitors and in and out of the hospital for a couple of years. And it was just really rough. We almost lost him several times. And so what happened was I felt like I couldn't have a healthy pregnancy. Before him, I'd had 4 losses in a row, 4 miscarriages. And then he came so sick that I just thought, I can't have a healthy pregnancy anymore. And so I was very motivated to get my health in check, because at that point, it was all about just the number on the scale and just, keeping calories low enough to maintain where I wanted to be. I had a history of eating disorders back in my 20s. And
can you tell us a little about that then, your disorders? Where do you think that came from? Like, what was your background like growing up with food? Or
Yes, it was just what it was obesity ran in my family. And I think it was a fear. It was also just where I got my identity was my size. It was a big deal. I was the tiny one, and so that became my identity. That became what was special about me. And so I spent my whole life just trying to stay tiny. So, yeah.
Wow. What did you do to stay tiny? I mean, how bad was this anorexia?
Well, at 6 years old, I remember weighing 45 pounds and thinking that was too much. And I had heard bread was fattening, so I took my
this started earlier.
Off.
This is not even just a teenage bloom issue, like, my body's changing. So this started when you were...
No.
Wow.
I was 6, and I was taking my kids' meal buns off my sandwiches, because I heard bread was fattening, which, hey, that was healthier for me as far as the bread part, but it was not a healthy mindset. And so then in my 20s, I became anorexic at 20. And then I went through like a binge disorder, maybe 23 or so. And I had children going through this stuff.
Were you able to hide this anorexia? Was this something that only you knew about, or was it something other family members knew? I mean, were like people praying for Heather and her anorexia, or was it kind of something you were...
No, they noticed, and there was some interventions happening. People were talking to me about it. I didn't think I was anorexic. I just thought, 5 more pounds. And I was finally to where I really liked how I looked, and I weighed 85 pounds. I am a very short person now. I was 5 foot. I'm 5 foot, so I am short.
Oftentimes with anorexia, we because I can say we, because I struggled with anorexia as a young child too. What we think it looks good is actually scary. Looks scary. So I mean, was that
Yes.
85 pounds on your little body a very scary thing?
I thought I looked great.
Yeah.
I was starting to feel good finally about myself. And my
Wow.
husband said, "You look like an HIV patient."
Okay.
And it's disgusting. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and he didn't mean it mean. He was just trying to let me know, like, this is very sickly looking. This is very unhealthy.
Yeah.
And so,
But you said that up until, 12 years ago, it was just standard American diet. So what were you doing to keep yourself at such a tiny weight? Or like just eating less of regular food? Like what were you
yes,
doing?
yes, I was doing the whole hunger fullness thing, which
Oh,
can
that
be a
Christian,
challenge because,
right?
uh-huh, yeah. And so, because, and I actually did that for 6 months trying to get out of anorexia, and I didn't gain a pound doing it because I wasn't feeling my hunger,
Mm.
enough
Yeah.
to be eating enough.
Well, it
So,
was broken,
yeah,
I guess.
it was, it was. And so, at that point, I had two children, and I went to a doctor, and he put me on Ensure drinks,
Mm.
and he told me that I needed to count my calories to get them up, and had to really pray about that because God had actually told me not to count calories anymore. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, but he gave me peace because I was going in the other direction. I was doing it to get healthy this time.
Right.
And I really wanted a third child. Y'all know that I love babies like Serene, and I wanted that third baby, and it was very motivating for me to get healthy. I knew I could not get pregnant as I
Yeah.
was, and so I did gain the weight. Took 6 months, and it still wasn't quite enough for me, but eventually God worked on me, and I increased that. Now, when I came to THM, I was
How did you hear
help.
about THM? Like, how did
My
THM come into your your life?
So my friend Mandy Smith, she goes to church with me, and she introduced me to it, and I read the book in a weekend.
The
With that
big
little
book back
1-year-old.
then.
The
Yeah.
big, yes, I read it in just a weekend. I just ate it up, and I was overwhelmed by it, but I was like, I have to do this. Like, this is,
Can you take us back to just maybe that moment in time before your friend told you about THM? Were you in a very, like, obviously your health was in a desperate place, but were you like, I need something that really is gonna work for my health because I realize how broken I am. Like, your husband saying this is disgusting. I mean, those are strong words. I'm sure it was life and death words. He was trying to like save
right.
you and keep you alive, keep his beautiful wife alive. But like, were you like, I realize I need help.
Yes, I think the biggest thing as far as my health at that point that got my attention was what happened with my fertility. And
Mm.
just, I developed this blood clotting antibody after I had 5 healthy babies.
Mm.
And then I was losing all these babies. And then my little guy was so sick when he came, and just all we went through with him. And so, but I also, I was maintaining the lowest possible BMI to be healthy. I was
Mm.
still like, I was not in eating disorder mode still, but my mind was still, I was having disordered thoughts.
Right.
And that's when
So,
you got the book. But, most people get our books because they want to lose weight. They have
right.
excess pounds. You're the opposite. You are an underweight woman reading this big book on how to be trim. Well, what resonated with you so much then?
I guess it just gave me a vision for health versus
Okay.
just maintaining that low number on the scale. And I had the vision to get healthy and desired to be healthy for the first time, really,
Mm. But
So,
the THM approach is all about balancing blood sugar,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
something
mhm.
that Heather,
Right.
was a real issue for
Yes,
her.
yes,
So, wow.
yep.
Uh, so you began THM, and how was that? Was it just like,
Yeah,
did it
what
just
did you
come
start?
natural to you? Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, this bike, I can ride this. Or
Oh
was it
no,
just like, ah?
Okay.
it was not natural at all. I'm definitely a drive-through Sue.
Uh,
Um, yeah, it was overwhelming. I remember making skinny chocolate for the first time, and I used Truvia, and it was, and I decided of all times to start on Easter.
So is that
And
like
so,
sand? Just with the trivia,
yes,
just sounds like
so
it was
so
secret.
awful.
do you feel like even though you you were thin, did you still have a sugar addiction at all?
Yes, I would just eat small amounts of real food to get to my sugar.
Okay, so
Yes,
you're all
what
about
I
the
would
sugar
call real
still.
food. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah,
so
I
Trim
still love
Healthy was
sugar.
was about you dropping that sugar. What was that the hardest
Yes.
thing? I mean, what was the hardest thing? And then I'll talk to you about what the easiest thing was.
Okay, it was kind of difficult, but I had basically, I had a coach before coaches were a thing.
Yeah.
My friend coached me through it. She knew it
Yes.
really well, and she had done it and dropped like 50 pounds doing it. And she was just there for me and encouraged me and held my
Uh,
hand through it. And
Can,
so it helped a lot having her.
can I ask you a question? So,
Yeah.
THM, it's really, you can kind of simplify it down to 7 skills, and, one would be to balance the blood sugar, to unshackle from sugar. And another, like, eat more plants, eat more protein would be another, move
Eat
the body.
breakfast.
Yeah, eat breakfast. And then one
hmm
of them would be to separate the fuels. Now, but since you were coming from more of a, like, very underweight stage, was that something you just thought, well, I don't need that skill? Or did you try and incorporate that and then got into maybe a dangerous place where you weren't gaining enough weight? Did you incorporate that skill?
I tried, yeah, I tried to still separate fuels at the beginning and did some of that, but I struggled with e-meals anyway. So it was kind of, it happened naturally that I was able to just, I did okay with my weight.
Okay.
I have gained some since and a lot of muscle and that kind of thing. But
It's good.
yeah, at first I did try to separate fuels, but then
Yeah.
I realized how important the carbs were. So I was like, I'm going to
Yes.
get my carbs.
Yeah.
So it wasn't always as an E. I did a
Because
lot of S helpers in my pregnancies.
So what
I had three,
okay.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I
No,
was
I
going to say
was
I had three THM pregnancies and I did a lot of S helpers to help with my blood sugar during
yeah.
those.
So
And
you
so I
were
would get my
able to get
carbs.
pregnant. So after you came
Yes.
on Trim Healthy, you stabilized your blood sugar, you were able to get pregnant again?
Yes, I
Eh,
was. And I had a wonderful, beautiful pregnancy and
Oh,
had two more after that.
I
That's
So
got
just
chills.
beautiful.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
There could
amazing.
be, I mean, nothing more precious. And what a non-scale victory there. Just life. And it's
yes.
just beautiful.
Well,
Uh,
what about the skill of eating breakfast then? Because as a, kind of recovering anorexic, were you eating breakfast before this?
I would wait, probably not. No, I
Yeah.
was eating at like 1 o'clock, 1:30 in
Ooh.
the afternoon.
Yeah. So what was that like, having breakfast again? I mean, what was that like?
I did it. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
easy at first, but I did it. And I really just knew this is what I needed to do. And also something I forgot to mention is I had felt like the Lord told me to get off sugar, like right around the time that I got the book and everything. And so it was just all the Lord, working it together.
Mm.
So
So what were some of the first breakfasts that you like that were your starter breakfasts, on your journey?
y'all are gonna laugh at this. I lived on peanut squares because
Oh,
I
oh,
love
oh, that
sugar.
that recipe, you mean the healthy one?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I loved peanut squares, cottage berry whip,
Mm.
cheesecake berry crunch. Those
Yes.
were like my main apple cinnamon, and I did
Yeah.
do it as a crossover
Yes.
unintentionally, but
Well, I
I,
love
I
that.
loved it
No,
that way.
I love that we've gone back to that fuel separation when you said you did it as a crossover, because I
hmm
think people need to know that that particular skill of separating fuels is only for people that really are having trouble losing weight.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just it's a weight loss tool. But like
Yes.
like we've said, a lot of people need to come to Trim Healthy to just balance their blood sugar. Maybe they don't have a weight issue, or opposite like you, they
hmm
need to put on weight. So that is a skill that they don't necessarily need to practice at all.
Right.
So
Well,
yeah.
aside from then you were able to have, 3 healthy pregnancies, what other benefits to your body did you notice? What started happening to you that you were nurturing yourself and balancing your blood sugar?
My skin cleared, and I've always really struggled with hormonal transitions, whether it's PMS or postpartum, and of course perimenopause now. But my skin cleared, and I was able to kind of shorten that time of PMS. Like I used to have 3 horrid days every month, and when I started doing THM, it got down to one bad day.
Mm.
Like
Wow.
it really decreased that. So that was really helpful.
Yeah, did you notice any brain mood? I know with anorexia, you can lose a lot of the serotonin in your brain and feel very gloomy. Did you have any
hmm
of those issues or?
I was good
Yeah.
outside of that, like one day a month. That was it.
Okay.
Like it
But
got
like
better.
aside from PMS, yeah, before when you were anorexic, did you suffer from
Depression or
depression, anxiety,
anxiety
or
or
anything like that?
That's kind of been an underlying thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
especially around hormone changes.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
But yeah,
Well, let's talk
So
about the skill of protein because you look really strong. You look
Yeah.
like
I
you
eat
have
my
some great
protein.
muscle. Now, at
Thank
first
you.
in your journey, was it just like, okay, I have to make sure I've got protein in a meal? Um, was it just more of just a simple approach to protein and now you've kind of honed it in? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I just started saying, "Where's my protein?" and putting the protein in, like foundational, teaches and all that. And probably the last couple years, a year to 2 years, I've been doing my 25 grams 5 times a day. I
Wow,
Woohoo!
you're like
so
Serene. You're up to 5.
yeah,
I'm a 4 girl, but yeah.
really. Well, I count
Okay.
one of those is essentials,
Yeah,
so I
Yeah.
okay.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
essential amino acid formula. So
yes,
what have you noticed, do you think, since you've been very diligent about your protein, especially like perimenopause, right? So what have you
yes,
noticed?
yes. I definitely have more muscle, and my body composition has changed quite a bit.
Yeah. Tell us about
Um,
that. What does
so
that look like for you?
um, Well, I I like how it looks, and more than that, I like how it feels and how it's going to help me with my aging process.
Yeah.
I'm so just looking forward to the future as far as being able to do all the things that I want to do. I'm like you, Serene, where I have all these children and I'm going to have all these grandchildren. And you
Yeah.
too, Pearl, I know you have a big family as well. And so I'm looking forward to being able to just pour into them
Yeah.
and be able to play with them and
Do you
do
feel
all the
strong?
things.
Do you feel
Oh, I
strong?
do. I
Yeah.
do feel so strong. Yeah, stronger than ever, for
You look
sure.
so
Yeah.
young.
Oh, you're so
So,
sweet.
So,
yes, you
I was
do.
also going to say that last baby, I had her right before my 44th birthday. So that was a
wow.
huge blessing. Yes.
Wow. So we're
Yes.
the same age. It means you're 48. You're
Yes.
48?
Well, let me ask you
Yep.
this then. You came from did you say you had a diabetic pregnancy with the problematic one? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now that usually means it's like an IOU. It means, hey, you'll probably end up with type 2 later on. And usually
Right.
people don't do well with carbs. Are you able, I
Yeah.
mean, Trim Healthy, we're all about including healthy carbs. Are you able to include carbs?
I am. And I was having to do S helpers
Yeah.
until I learned about the Wizzy way. And
Yeah.
now if I stick with Wizzy Ease, I do great.
And for those people
So,
that don't know the heck what a Wizzy E is, like, tell us how you eat your carbs and to be protective
okay.
of your body that's prone to higher blood sugar genetically.
I I love the two-faced toast. That's a big one. And
Yes.
I do the fiber protein chocolate milk with that. And trying
So
to
what
think,
is
oh,
it? Is
the
it always getting protein in there, or what are you not going
and the
overboard with
fiber.
carbs? Yeah, the
Yeah, and the
fiber.
fiber. And but I've been very happy to be able to eat these meals and like 2 pieces of bread in the past. I couldn't do 2 pieces of sprouted
Yeah,
toast,
right.
but I can with the Wizzy meals. So
Yes.
I just
So
stick
you
with
would
those for
check
my
your
eat.
blood sugar and it would be spiking. Wow.
Yes,
It's
yes,
so interesting and it's a good thing for people to realize. People that think they're thin or they are
Yeah.
thin can be like, well, obviously I can handle this Western, diet. I can handle all of the carbs, but it doesn't mean that there's not this inflammation and dangerous stuff happening
right.
inside their body and their organs and their pancreas. So, I mean, weight gain isn't the only body response from high blood sugar. And obviously, you had a
Yes,
lot going on that was causing you to
I
have
did.
very, grave health, but you weren't necessarily putting on pounds for that. So, yeah.
Right. Yes,
What
yes.
do you think it is that's burning your blood sugar now? Do you feel like it's your extra muscle? What do you think is working for you now?
I do think that's helping. Yes, and I
Yeah.
think just the way the meals are put together with the
Yeah.
fiber and all the protein and all of that. Yeah. So yeah.
So what would you say? You've been really open today about man struggles with anorexia, and so many women, they might look at you and think, "Oh, well, she's never struggled with being obese," but you've had your struggles. So what would you
I
say to
have.
women who were, in your place, just feeling like without hope, not knowing the answers? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say jump in and just do your best to stay on plan and do this because this is amazing. This is God's gift to me. I mean, and to us. And it was his answer for my health,
Mm-hmm.
is to do this and also to show yourself grace because life
Mm-hmm.
isn't perfect and you're not going to be perfect. And that is something I'm still on a journey. God is teaching me to let go of perfection and just to do my
Mm-hmm.
best. And I tell my kids all the time, do your best and leave the rest, and just and know that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
So
This has
yeah,
been how many years on this Trim Healthy journey? Like you started what? How many
12
years?
years. I
12
started 12
years.
years
And
ago.
look at that I love seeing that
Yes.
because right now there's so many quick fixes in this world. You know, so many are jumping onto intermittent fasting or carnivore or whatever it is. And they're having these honeymoon periods. I mean, we experience them, you know, honeymoon periods with the
Mm-hmm.
latest, and then things start going haywire. But do you feel like you're
Yes,
even gaining more health as
I
years go on?
do.
Because you look like
Yes.
it.
And can I ask you
Thank
about
you.
too your mental space now and the health of your mind? You know, you said that it's always been a little bit of an underlying thing, the anxiety and depression, and especially probably
Mm-hmm.
with that low serotonin when you were not nourishing your body, which can
Yes.
happen, you know, with anorexics. They can just really struggle with low serotonin, and the chemicals are just not all there.
Yes.
How are you feeling now? Do you have a new sense of just wellness mentally?
I
Is that
do.
followed suit with your
I
body?
do. I definitely do. Yes. I'm
Yay.
still kind of figuring out. I struggle with progesterone.
Yeah.
I think I have that condition. I always forget if it's PPMD or PMMD, where you struggle once that progesterone goes up every month. So I'm
Yeah.
still trying to navigate that. I am on a bioidentical hormones, thanks
Mm.
to y'all. And that is, I feel great until that point, and then we're still kind of working through. But I'm not with Cura, so
Yes.
um, because I have blood clotting antibodies. So it's the only
Yeah.
Yeah.
reason I'm not.
Yeah, but
Um,
that hormone thing is a process too, you know, learning your
yeah, that's what
body,
I'm
and
learning.
it's not
Yeah.
overnight. It's not.
Yes.
So, you actually became a coach yourself, right? A Trim
Yes.
Healthy Mama coach. And like, why did you do that?
I wanted to help other women and just encourage them in their journeys. And I think that Sarah Truitt may have been the first to get hers, and I think I was maybe the second. So I've
Really?
been doing it since the beginning, and I do one-on-ones, and I love it. And I
And
just,
yeah, I know that, you know, your story is not the same as, I mean, there are many people that have struggled with anorexia, but you know, when it comes to Trim Healthy, a lot of times it's the opposite. They're struggling with a lot of excess weight. But I feel like it's the same mentally and emotionally. It's whether you're anorexic or you're overweight, there's a sense of just insecurity and, you know, not feeling like you are, you know, just the right weight, you know, whether it's
hmm
just, so I feel like the story and the struggle, the heart of it is the same, you know, and there's that
right.
desperation and that helplessness and hopelessness, and the fact that you found something that could long term sustainably bring you to health. I think that's
Yes.
going to relate whether people have overweight
Well,
issues or underweight
yeah. So
issues.
have you helped people? Like, you've never had a major
Yes.
weight problem. You've helped people drop weight.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, I would get a lot of the pregnant nursing moms too.
Yes.
That tends to be the ones that I mostly have attracted,
Yes,
and
yes.
I love that. So yeah,
Can you think of a
it's been good.
story like someone, you know, maybe you've helped, and what was their turnaround, or what have women told you?
Yes, food addiction,
Mm,
and just
mm-hmm,
being able to be accountable, and them to be able.
mm-hmm,
I do a lot of texting with my
mm-hmm,
coaching,
Yeah.
and
mm-hmm.
being able to reach out and just kind of talk through things,
Yeah.
um, and I think that accountability is so powerful.
Yes, it
When you can
is.
talk to somebody, and that's something that also helped me. I did go through a time where I had a binge issue, like after the anorexia, so I can relate also to that side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I know that I don't know. I feel just blessed by your story. I know your story is going to
thank
bless so
you,
many because
thank
it's a
you.
true sustainable change. It's a
Yes.
It
sustainable
is.
metamorphosis. A lot of people, like Pearl said, can get on the latest fads and have a temporary change, but it doesn't last. And
Right.
And
Yeah.
what about
I,
people that you've helped? Are you seeing them being sustainable too? Are you seeing ones that you've coached? Because you're one of our first coaches. Like, are they
yes.
sustaining in this now?
Yes. 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 I have seen that. And I've had some come back too and just say, hey, I want to just get some more encouragement. I've had
yeah,
some repeat,
yeah.
come back here and there and just kind of need that little encouragement to stay on track. And it's been good.
What would you say to then someone who actually is, fighting a disease of the mind, really, which is then a disease of the body, like an eating
Yes.
addiction or an eating denial, or maybe someone who's really, really struggling with their self worth?
Yes,
Um,
I would say cry out to the Lord. I will say I had a major breakthrough a couple months ago. Pearl, you especially have really encouraged me as far as just, keeping my weight healthy along the way. And in the chapters in the book about, strong versus skinny or versus
yeah.
the lighter, I don't remember how you worded it, but I have listened to those over and over and over. And it has really encouraged me. And one thing I did, because I knew where I needed to go, I knew my mindset needed to shift even more, but I was just having that mental block. And so I felt led to just stop weighing. So I got off the scale for 55 days
Well,
recently.
I love
And
that.
God just broke that bondage off
I
of me.
love
So I would
that.
say, cry out to the Lord. And if you have to just give up the scale, give it up. Like
Yeah.
whatever you have to do to be, to just put it away. And the Lord is able to set you free.
So that's
And
interesting. That is so interesting. So you were seeing results, you were seeing your health transform, you were getting healthier in your body. And of course,
mhm,
that was a mind thing too. Your mind was getting healthy, but you still felt like there was this stronghold, a seed of it
yes,
still in your brain. And it's only just
yeah,
recently you're feeling this, that
yes,
maybe like the root of it pulled out, which is a great thing to tell others that, there is a more and more. There is a health upon health where even if you're seeing great results, there is still more um, health to be gotten of the mind
yes,
as well as of the body,
yes.
and to keep going in the journey, right, and not giving up. And
Right. That's right. It's a
I
lifelong
love that.
journey. Yeah.
12 years in, and you finally feel like the root
Yes.
of it's being plucked
I
out. That's
do. I
powerful.
do. Yeah.
I feel
God
that.
is
I feel
good.
like we're all learning and growing and we never arrive, right? We're never perfect.
Yes.
Hmm.
And if we're
Right.
open to learning more, then we do, we receive. And now you're
hmm
helping others, and it's like this like trickle down effect of just, we feel so grateful that you would come here and share your story
Thank you.
with
Thank you. It's been an
others.
honor.
And for the the health that you're helping us get to every home, right? We want
Yeah.
greater health to every home, and
Yes.
you are a huge part of that, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Heather.
Yes.
It's been an honor, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.